When it comes to weapons, Warframe isn't no short of them. With multiple different types of almost any type of weapon you can think of, there are multiple ways to kill enemies and still be satisfying. In this video, I'll be going over primary weapons of Tenno design. Tenno-made weapons usually tend to have designs that can be described as traditional, leading to the ways of the old world and even reference real-world weapons. Now before we go any further, I should probably do my disclaimer. Just because a build for a frame or weapon is in any of these videos, doesn't mean that they're the quote-unquote correct way of modding them. Experiment with what works based on your playstyle, and don't be discouraged if a certain build doesn't. Also keep in mind that I'll be going over weapons that are in the build of the game that will be displayed on screen as of the making of this video. So if a weapon seems to be missing, it's probably because it was released after this video was made. So please don't flame the comments just because a certain weapon isn't here. Okay, let's dive in. As far as basic rifles go, the Burstyn is the most prolific. Now just because this is considered a basic weapon means that it's not as good, right?
Wrong!
Even the most basic of weapons such as the Burstyn can be a top tier weapon if modded to be that way. The Burstyn is considered a balanced weapon good against any faction. One thing to be mindful of is that it can chew through ammo rather quick, so either having a reload mod such as Fast Hands or a punch through mod like Metal Auger and or Shred can shred through large crowds without wasting too much ammo. One could use rifle ammo mutation or carrier sentinel with ammo case to make up for any lost ammo due to its semi-quick ammo consumption. All versions of the Burstyn deal melee and slash damage, meaning it's most ideal to use against infested. Fun fact, the Burstyn originally had more of a corpus aesthetic before the model was updated to have a more Tenno design. So what do you want something that isn't fully auto but still want to put out more than one bullet? The Burstyn is the burst fire alternative you might be looking for. 3-shot burst for fire, the Burstyn is reliable but does have a bit of a recoil. Because of that, this weapon may seem uncomfortable to some, but learning the pattern of both the recoil and the fire rate can be a huge help. The base Burstyn deals an equal amount of damage all around, making it one of very few weapons that does so, making it useful against any faction. The Burstyn Prime, on the other hand, deals highly in slash damage, so most useful against infested. On top of that, the Burstyn Prime can also equip the Arbiters of Hexus exclusive augment Gilded Truth, which increases fire rate. Fun fact, similar to the Burstyn, the Burstyn had an older model that made players uncertain as to what faction it belonged to. Many thought Grineer since it was used by elite lancers before the introduction of the Hind rifle, but like the Burstyn, it has since been given a more Tenno-based design. Now what do you want a semi-auto weapon that does only one shot at a time? The Letran is the rifle just for that. A slow rate of fire but very good accuracy, being comparable to a sniper rifle as well as being effective at both close and medium range. Also interesting of note is that the Letran is much quieter in comparison to other rifles, despite being considered alarming in noise level. The Letran deals high amount of puncture damage, making it most effective against Grineer. So maybe you're not a rifle type of Tenno and want something like a shotgun. The Strut is a semi-auto shotgun, while not a pump action, has to have every individual shell reloaded upon reloading. The Strut has a tight cone of attack when firing, so using it at close range is ideal to get the most damage out of it. The Strut deals a high amount of impact damage, making it most effective against Corpus. So what do you want a shotgun that's full auto? The bore is the answer to that. With a high rate of fire, a large magazine clip, and a wide spread, the bore is ideal for taking large crowds of enemies. The two main drawbacks with this is the slow reload speed and the small ammo consumption. This can be negated with mods such as shotgun ammo mutation to help with this. The bore deals melee and impact, making it most effective against Corpus. So maybe a rifle or shotgun isn't your thing. Maybe looking for a bow and arrow of sorts? The Paris is your solution to that. A silent counterpart to the noisy rifles and shotguns, the Paris is the one of many bows and arrows. As expected of such a weapon, the Paris is very accurate when aiming, completely silent and has intimate punch through on charged shots. As this is one of many weapons with projectile flight, it's better one is confident in their shots when using such weapons like the Paris. The Paris deals mostly in puncture damage, making it ideal to use against Grineer. Now we begin to get to some of the more interesting weapons that the game has to offer, starting off with the Boltor. This auto rifle fires bolts instead of traditional bullets, making this one of few weapons to have projectile speed and flight. Due to this, it's recommended to use this at either close to mid-range, as using at longer ranges requires tracking the target and being confident in your shots. The bolter mainly deals puncture damage, making it most effective against Grineer. This one is rather interesting. The Bozza is a submachine gun with the gimmick being that it is naturally silent, making it one of few non-bow based weapons to be so. Highly accurate, though it does have a medium range fall-off rate, which can be negated with heavy caliber. The Bozza deals primarily puncture damage along with a good amount of impact damage, making it good against Grineer and or Corpus respectively. Again, a weapon that is interesting in how it works. The Panther is a full auto launcher that launches saw blades along with an alternate fire mode that can levitate a spinning saw blade in front of the weapon that can be used to mow down enemies. While it does have a low fire rate, it makes up for it in its high damage output. The Panther deals mainly slash damage, making it most useful against Infested. The Panther can also use the new Loka exclusive augment Disarming Purity, which gives a chance to disarm enemies. Essentially a Tenno-made machine gun, the Soma is a very much praised weapon. Even though it has a low damage output, it makes up for it with its high accuracy, high critical chance, high fire rate, and high critical multiplier. Much like any other heavy machine gun, it's recommended to use the Soma in short bursts to reserve ammo, along with using a mod like Fast Hands to increase the slow reload speed. The Soma deals mainly in slash damage, making it most effective against Infested. This one is just weird. It's not bad, it's just weird and sort of forgettable. The Veld is a semi-automatic revolver-style rifle that has an option to zoom with the alt-fire, making it the only non-scope weapon to do so. It boasts high damage output, high accuracy, fast reload speed, and high critical and status chances, but has a low fire rate. The Veld deals mainly in slash damage, making it good against Infested. Another burst fire option, the Cypress is a 2-shot burst flintlock rifle that boasts low recoil, a fast fire rate, high critical chance, and good range accuracy. Both the standard and prime variants have a nearly equal damage output, making it good against any faction, while the Deck Cypress deals mainly in slash damage, making it ideal against Infested. Now we're getting into weapons in which the prime variant has unique properties compared to its standard counterpart. The standard Tiburon is a 3-shot burst rifle that boasts a high rate of fire, very low recoil, and high critical chance. However, it does come with a low magazine capacity. On the other hand, the Tiburon Prime is a select fire rifle, which it can switch between being a burst fire, semi-auto, or full automatic. The burst and semi-auto modes boast high critical chance, and all modes have a high critical chance multiplier and status chance, along with being highly accurate with low recoil to boot. The standard Tiburon mainly deals puncture damage, making it good against Grineer. However, the Tiburon Prime has a nearly equal amount of damage type, making it good against just about any faction. This rifle has 2 modes of fire, semi-auto and full auto. The full auto mode has decent stats with good accuracy and negligible recoil. Semi-auto on the other hand has a good status chance and high accuracy. On top of that, both modes have a high critical chance and a large magazine clip. Both versions of the Strut deal a fairly equal amount of 3 physical types, making it good against any faction. A reward for logging in for 100 days, the Zenith is a rather fascinating rifle. The primary fire is fully automatic, while using the alt-fire deploys a disc that lasts until the Zenith is reloaded. This disc highlights nearby enemies' heads within 20 meters through walls and obstacles, and changes from full auto to semi-auto. The full auto deals a high status chance and fire rate. The alt-fire has a high critical chance and multiplier along with infinite punch-through. Both mods have a fast reload speed and high accuracy in the magazine clip. However, it suffers from a high recoil when firing from the hip and a mediocre ammo efficiency. The full auto mode mainly deals slash damage, making it effective against Infested, while the semi-auto mode deals mainly puncture damage, making it effective against Grineer. Side note, it's advised not to get rid of the Zenith as there are no other means of reclaiming it. Okay, so technically this is considered a Cephalon weapon, but there aren't any others like it, so it'll be put in the Tenno category. The Simulor is a launcher that launches orbs of gravitational force. If 2 orbs are combined, they'll create a small vortex that attracts objects and enemies and dealing damage. Using the alt fire or waiting can cause the orbs to detonate, causing additional damage. The Simulor has decent critical chance and high status chance and pinpoint accuracy, though it suffers from a low reload speed, a short firing range, and is extremely ammo inefficient. The Simulor deals pure magnetic damage, making it most effective against Corpus. Hey you! Yeah, you! Are you trying to make a Doomslayer loadout but are uncertain as to which weapon to use for the super shotgun? Look no further than the Tigris. This double-barrel shotgun is a force to be reckoned with. The Tigris is a duplex auto shotgun. What this means is this. Press and hold the fire button to fire one shell. Let go to fire the second shell. Unfortunately, it can only hold 2 shots at a time, forcing players to reload after each 2 shots. It makes up for it with a very high base damage and status chance, along with being highly accurate with efficient ammo economy. The Tigris deals mainly slash damage, so put on a punch through mod, make your Rhino dark green, equip the Tigris, and go to town on those infested. Here's something more towards a traditional pump-action shotgun. The Corinth is a shell-fed pump-action shotgun with 2 modes of fire. The first being of wide buckshot as expected. The second is one some might not expect. The alt fire launches a grenade projectile that creates an 8-meter area of effect explosion. The primary fire deals a high critical multiplier and critical chance. The alt fire also has a very high status chance. The drawback is it has a small magazine clip, a slow reload speed, and reloading has a slight delay before it can be fired. The main fire of the Corinth mainly deals puncture damage, while the alt fire deals mainly blast damage, both of which are good against Grineer. Now you may be wondering, are there any sniper rifles? And the answer is yes. The Vectis is a Tenno mage sniper that holds 1 shot for the standard and 2 shots for the prime variant. The Vectis boasts a high reload speed along with a good ammo economy and high critical chance. As expected of a sniper, the Vectis is perfectly pinpoint with accuracy when zoomed in, perfect for landing headshots. However, because of the low ammo clip, one is stuck with constantly reloading after each shot, and has a high recoil which may make it difficult with follow-up shots, especially when zoomed in. The Vectis deals highly in both puncture and impact damage, making it effective against both Grineer and or Corpus respectively. It's also worth noting that the Vectis is the only sniper rifle that can reload while scoped in, while all other snipers scope out when reloading. This sniper, particularly the prime variant, is a sought-after meta for Triathlon farming. For those of you wondering what that is, let me explain. On the plains of Eidolon during the nighttime, there are 3 giant sentients that roam around, and if you capture them, you get rewards. Respectively, the 3 that you fight in order are the Terrorist, Gontalist, and Hydralist. The meta for this is Volt, Trinity, Harrow, and Chroma. The weapon of choice for this is either the Rubico Prime or the Lenka. The Rubico by itself outside Triathlon farming is an excellent sniper, with a high critical multiplier, a good ammo economy, and the smallest shot combo requirement, though it suffers from a low status chance, small magazine clip, and a slow reload speed. The Rubico Prime primarily does an impact damage, making it most effective against Corpus, or if you mod it just right, a weapon for the Eidolons. So, similar to the Simulor, this technically isn't a Tenno-made weapon, but since there aren't many other Stalker-made weapons, and the fact that we still don't know who or what the Stalker is, this can be considered a Tenno weapon. This bow is considered the calling card of the Stalker, and for good reason. The Dread has a high status and critical chance, and fire rate mods can double these bonuses. There aren't too many disadvantages with this bow that would hinder it. The Dread mainly deals slash damage, making it effective against infested. Another weapon whose prime variant has an added effect, though technically this one was the first to have this. Both Standard and the Rocket Cernos are both a standard bow. The Cernos Prime, on the other hand, has more to it. The Cernos Prime fires 3 arrows in a spread that, when using the alt fire, can be put either vertically or horizontally. All versions of the Cernos have a very high critical chance along with dealing a high amount of impact damage, making it effective against Corpus. A take on the traditional Japanese Yumi bow, the Dyke Q is a bow that boasts high base damage, a very high critical chance and status chance, and the fastest projectile speed of all bows. The only drawback to this bow is the long charge time to fire this bow. The Dyke Q deals nearly equal damage, making it good against any faction. So what if you want a crossbow? The Attica is one of them. A full automatic crossbow with a slow rate of fire but makes up for it in high damage output, high critical chance, and accuracy with a very good ammo efficiency. Aside from slow fire rate, it also has low status chance and slow reload speed. The Attica mainly deals puncture damage, making it most effective against Grineer. One of the few weapons that was originally on the Chinese build of the game later ported to the global build, not to mention one of the first weapons from the Chinese build to get a primed version. Like the Attica, the Zooge is a fully automatic crossbow with a high damage output, high critical and status chance, high base accuracy, and is very ammo efficient. However, like the Attica, it also suffers from a slow reload speed and rate of fire. The Zooge Prime, on the other hand, has an added effect. After the bullets make contact with any surface, including walls, objects, and especially enemies, the bolts will explode shortly after making contact. The base Zooge deals mainly puncture damage, making it most effective against Grineer, while the Zooge Prime deals mainly slash damage, making it most effective against Infested. Now we begin getting into signature weapons of specific warframes, the first being the Tenno, signature rifle of Octavia. This rifle has two modes of fire, the first being a full automatic fire that increases fire rate and accuracy as the trigger is held, along with boasting a good status chance and high critical chance. The alt-fire charges up one powerful shot at the cost of using up 10 ammo. It also suffers from a poor ammo efficiency and a slow reload speed. While in the hands of Octavia, headshot kills with the alt-fire has a 20% chance to instantly refill the magazine. The Tenno deals mainly in puncture damage, making it ideal against Grineer. The signature shotgun of Gara, the Astilla is an automatic shotgun that fires slugs instead of traditional bullets, which upon impact shatters large amounts of glass, causing additional damage. The Astilla deals a good critical chance, very high status chance, and boasts a very high accuracy. However, it is poor on ammo efficiency and has projectile flight. In the hands of Gara, the Astilla has an additional 80 reserve ammo, totaling the ammo count to a total of 192. The Astilla deals primarily slash and impact damage, making it useful against Infested and Corpus respectively. The signature primary of Harrow and one of few spear guns, along with currently being one of the few signature weapons with no added bonuses. The Scourge is a full automatic spear gun that launches pure corrosive projectiles that explode upon impact. The alt-fire allows the spear to be thrown, inflicting a bullet attractor effect on the heads of all enemies in the impact area. This weapon boasts a very high status chance, high ammo capacity, and is very ammo efficient, although it suffers from a low critical chance along with a slow rate of fire and reload speed. The Scourge on both fire modes deals pure corrosive damage, making it ideal against Grineer, while the alt-fire mainly deals impact damage, making it effective against Corpus. Again, while not technically a Tenno weapon, it is considered a sentient weapon. It is considered the signature hybrid shotgun for Revenant. Plus, as mentioned, there aren't many other weapons like it, that's why it's mentioned here. The Fantasma is a beam shotgun that fires beams with a high status chance and a fast reload speed with no fall-off damage. The primary fire launches a beam that is pinpoint accurate and has infinite punch through against bodies. The alt-fire, which can be either tapped or held down, charges the weapon to fire a large plasma bomb that explodes in a 5-meter radius, which then releases 5 seeking projectiles. However, it suffers from a low critical chance and multiplier along with having a small magazine size. The Fantasma deals pure radiation damage, making it effective against Grineer, Corpus, and some Infested. The signature crossbow of Garuda, the Attica is a hybrid crossbow that can fire bolts either one at a time or using the alt-fire to empty the entire clip. All bolts have a chance of bleeding and headshot kills have a chance to increase the reload speed. Aside from this, it also has a good critical chance, a high critical multiplier, a very high status chance, and has a good ammo efficiency, though it suffers from a low reload speed if not boosted by its passive, and it has a very small magazine clip. When used by Garuda, the bolts gain punch through. The Attica mainly deals slash damage, ideal for Infested. The signature rifle for Wisp, the Fullman is a hybrid rifle that by default is silent and fires bolts from close range. When using the alt fire, it switches to full auto and can fire shots from a longer range. The semi-auto mode boasts a very high critical chance along with above average critical multiplier and has a good status chance. The full auto mode, similar to semi-auto, boasts a high critical chance and multiplier and is pinpoint accurate. On top of this, the weapon does not draw from any ammo pool, with ammo regenerating over time when not in use. However, the generation speed of ammo is rather slow. In the hands of Wisp, the mode change is quicker in comparison to when not used by Wisp. The full mode mainly deals electric and impact damage, making it ideal for use against Corpus. Currently the latest in the Tenno arsenal, the Exceltra is the signature launcher of Gauss. This weapon is fully automatic, launching micro-missiles in rapid succession with a high critical chance and multiplier and is highly accurate. It does, however, suffer from a low status chance and an extremely low ammo capacity. To provide safety for its users, the missiles arm at a safe distance after traveling 7 meters in midair. The weapon reloads faster when sprinting, making it even faster when in the hands of Gauss. The Exceltra deals primarily in puncture damage, making it most effective against Grineer. Now before we actually end things here, just to add a little more detail about the Exceltra, I just have one little question. Just one little question. Why in the holy mother of is this thing so hard to get? I mean, seriously, the chances of getting this thing is so low. I've done so many runs trying to get this weapon and didn't even get the blueprint at all. Like, you're better off getting this thing with platinum than trying to get this legit. Like, seriously, at least increase the chances for this thing so that way it's not so hard to get. Okay, I'm getting off my soapbox now. Thank you for listening to my rant. And with that concludes all of the currently available Tenno primaries. We'll next be going over primaries made by the Grineer, so if you have anything you want to add to that, feel free to leave a comment below. Also, if a weapon drops after this video is made, I might do a follow-up covering said weapon. Comment below if that'd be something you'd like to see. Just remember, if you're looking for something old world or familiar to you, a Tenno made weapon might be what you're looking for. Until then, stay true, Tenno.